Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of Cruel and Beautiful, Eye of the Dragon, Rabbit Hole, and King Dio. And we now have confirmation that the re-release of Fatal Frame 5, the multi-plat re-release of Fatal Frame 5, will not include the bikini costumes included in the original Japanese release. Now, this is actually kind of a big deal because it proves something I've been saying for a long, long time now when it involves these costume changes and these removal of sort of like stuff, bikini style content in these Western releases. In that, like, it doesn't actually have anything to do with Nintendo. Like, the narrative for the longest time when it comes to, like, RPGs and, like, niche Japanese games coming to Nintendo and removing, like, sexualized costumes is because, like, Nintendo doesn't want it. They want it removed. They want to censor it. They hate, like, sexy character designs. They hate this. They hate that. They want to, they don't want to appeal to the Coomer audience. They hate their fans. It's going... Like, you keep hearing these insane narratives, these insane conspiracy theories regarding, like, these niche Japanese games, stuff like Fatal Frame 5, like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, like, I think Fire Emblem Fates. There was a brief period in, like, 2015 and 2016 where, like, this felt like all that anyone wanted to talk about when it came to Nintendo. But what was actually happening, well, at least what happened with Fatal Frame 5, is that Koei Tecmo had a deal with some kind of, like, real-life lingerie company in Japan and utilized those costumes in the original Japanese release of Fatal Frame 5. It was a crossover promotional deal. And as a result of that, they actually had to, like, pay a license fee and to utilize these things. So when it came to, like, to utilize these clothes. So when it came time to, like, for the Western release, like about over a year later, it was decided that they should cut those in order to, like, avoid paying those license fees for a brand that, like, had no presence in the West. They decided to just cut them out and just replace them with the Nintendo costumes instead. And that's the real story behind Fatal Frame 5. It had nothing to do with censorship or removing sexual content. It was because, they didn't want to pay a licensing fee for this lingerie company or whatever. The entire conspiracy that it was Nintendo who wanted this removed is complete nonsense. And now that, like, these costumes are not reappearing in the re-release. Now that these costumes aren't appearing in the re-release, that's obviously true. Because if it was Nintendo, these bikinis would have been restored in the PlayStation and Xbox releases, making those the definitive version. But instead, what they're doing is adding in new costumes. They've removed the Nintendo costumes again. They don't want them available in any version of the game, including the Switch one. And they're just throwing in, like, some new, like, cutesy costumes, not like sexualized ones, but not the lingerie, but new ones. And I mean, it just goes to show you, like, the weird, bizarre lengths that people will go to make up shit to attack Nintendo with. Like, the Fatal Frame controversy never made any sense. It was never based in reality. There was never, like, any real conspiracy. It was all just a way for pretendos to attack Nintendo, to blame them for the way Fatal Frame was being handled with this specific release. No. It was always a complete joke. It was always nonsense. Nintendo was a big reason this game even existed, right? And people couldn't appreciate them for that. People couldn't thank them for bringing this game over at all after Fatal Frame 4 never came out over here. Unbelievable. Downright disgusting. Pretendos really need to, like, understand that what they're doing, what they're bitching about, is wrong.